now the game is a little bit stretch ball into Martinelli, heads it on, past Shah. Pope comes very far out to clear his lines there. Really alert, good sweeper keeping there from the Newcastle goalkeeper. If not, Martinelli would have taken a touch and would definitely have had a one-on-one opportunity there for the Arsenal winger, but still forward come the Gunners. Odegaard out to Saka on the right-hand side. Can he find a teammate in the area? Pulls it back, looking for Odegaard in the area, but cleared away by Botman. Out for an Arsenal corner. Just over half an hour played at the Emirates. Still goalless. Arsenal 0, Newcastle 0. Independent off-tube studio commentary. And now a chance for a corner for the Gunners. Last time out was a Saka corner. Will be an in-swinger again. That's where Partey had his headed effort saved away by Pope. Big opportunity for the Gunners. That was one of their 2 shots on target. The other one coming a few minutes ago from Declan Rice. To take it short, Saka into Odegaard. He tries to play it back, deflected off of Gordon. And I know that maybe they're trying to switch it up to keep Newcastle on their toes, but when they've already swung one in and you had a good headed effort on target, I'm just not quite sure why Arsenal aren't doing that again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as if they have got sort of a load of inventive free kicks either, is it? Corner kicks. They kind of have a plan, and at the moment, this game, it's been load the 6-yard box and obviously get a good delivery in there. I mean, you take it short. They've just won another corner from the throw-in. Trossard didn't have room to work with, but he's played it off the legs of Livramento, so it will be another set piece. I don't know whether it's to keep anybody on the toes, whether they spot on opening, it's difficult to say, but it's another opportunity.
Yeah, it's cross coming from Trossard, deflected away off Livramento, back out for a corner, and exactly the same side they just took it from. An in-swinging opportunity from Saka. Odegaard is short, Trossard is short as well. They've got their runners at the back post as well in their draw. Saka swings it into the front post. Pope comes and claims, punches it away, but punches it away for another corner. Once again, as Rob said, really crowded 6-yard box. He's done well to come and claim he's almost punched it in and punched it behind himself out for a corner, just to come and get a hand on it at all to take it away from your defenders. He's done really well as the Newcastle goalkeeper, but once again out for another corner. Looks like there will be level in corners. This will be Arsenal's 4th, Newcastle have 4 as well, and it will be another Saka corner. Will they go short or will they go into the penalty area? Right arm raised by Saka. That's a poor delivery into the front post. Hacked up in the air by Murphy. Will it go out for another corner? Yes, it will. I don't know what Saka was doing there. It was into the front post, but almost passed into the front post. There was no whip or bend on it, but he gets another chance.
Yeah, he's got to do better. I mean, the last couple of corners have actually not been that good, have they? But the pressure's still on, and of course it only takes one. I don't think Pope's got much room to manoeuvre here, so it depends on the delivery.
Take it short this time. Trossard back to Saka on the edge of the area. Lewis Skelly, he's run into the back post. Can Partey keep it in? No, he can't. Too much on it. And again, when you see the short corners, I don't mind. It's trying to get a better position to put a cross in there. But again, you just think maybe that's Saka thinking, because I've put a few poor ones in, let's change it. Just seeing pictures of Kai Havertz on the bench. Could you imagine if he gets a few minutes at the back end of the second half, maybe just to keep some fitness at the back end of the season?
Just to freshen things up. I mean, it's not quite working, is it? Obviously, injuries haven't necessarily helped Arsenal. I don't want to use those as excuses. Every team has them. Oh, terrible goal kick taken by Newcastle. Have given the ball away. It's near a corner flag, but that was a soft giveaway. Arsenal straight back on the attack. Newcastle are making mistakes.
Yeah, that was a terrible mistake. As Rob said, and now Arsenal have players forward on the left-hand side, but Newcastle, to their credit, have got players back. Ball whipped in by Kivior into a good area. No one making that run inside the 6-yard box. Trickles out for another Newcastle goal kick. And again, to me, I'm not saying it's a perfect cross, and what a great cross it is, but it's one of them to me where it's like, that's a good area, but it needs someone making that forward run into the near post, if you will, and Arsenal don't really have a player like that.
No, they don't. I don't think Kai Havertz will make a difference. He's warming up now, actually. He was sat on the bench a couple of minutes ago, but he's warming up. It's just not working. Trossard is not a natural number 9, shall we say. He's played down. He has scored goals, but from set-piece situations, it's, they're kind of worried about going offside. Maybe the cross could have come in sooner. It's a bit of a let-off. I think they've lacked a little bit of an idea I think the short corner routine is to try and get Saka shooting, but Newcastle are wary of that potential threat, so he can't shoot. And then the second cross hasn't been any better. So after what was a really good start, I seem to have all the end-to-end stuff, Lewis. We've got 10 minutes to go to the break, and chances dried up for sure.
Yeah, hopefully the last 10 minutes I can have a switch around and get some chances in the back end of the first half. 35 minutes gone, 10 minutes to go in the first half. Martinelli on the left-hand side, further infield to Lewis Skelly. As Rob said, it has slowed down. Again, you can expect that. It was such a high tempo in the opening 20-25 minutes. I'd like to see it get back up to that. Lewis Skelly running into the penalty area, back to Kivior. Will he whip another one in? No, he won't. Goes wide to Martinelli, tries to stand up his defender and whip one in. He does, but deflected away off of Murphy. Another corner. They're just tallying up for Arsenal now. I believe that will be their 7th, possibly, corner. This time it'll be from the other side, though. Usually Declan Rice is the one who will put this in. It's always an in-swinger that Arsenal like. So it's maybe a fresh opportunity from the other side, if you will.
Yeah, different idea, maybe. Yeah, it depends who's going to take it. Is Declan Rice? There isn't the short option unless you include Trossard, who's in the box, but he's closer to the edge of the 18-yard box than the 6-yard box. That's a short option. I'm not sure it's the best. That would only change up the angle, presumably, for a cross from Declan Rice. Looks as though he's just going to swing it in himself, though. 3 or 4 lining up beyond the far post for the Gunners.
He whips it right into the back post. White keeps it alive, but now Newcastle pick it up. Ball's awkward for Dan Burn to head it away. He does head it away, but the counter was possibly on for the Magpies, but Arsenal picked the ball back up. And Newcastle right now are quite penned inside their own penalty area. Arsenal, unfortunately, though, can't really get through that back 5 that Newcastle are currently playing. Very stretched out across the penalty area. Out to Saka on the right hand side. Good ball into White, but then he gets it stuck in between and underneath his feet. Tonali does well to continue to come away with the ball. Ben White all over him there, and the Italian midfielder does win the ball there. Tonali might have come away with it anyway, but stoppage in play there. It was a decent pass from Saka into White, but he get the ball stuck under his feet. But Newcastle, they are frustrating Arsenal, I think, right now defensively. They just can't get through the Magpies back 5.
No, they can't, and the possession stats are around 60-40. Could be a chance for Newcastle. Livramento is almost clean through. He dillied in possession. He didn't want to be one-on-one. The recovery was there. Partey. Poor clearance, though, from Saliba. Newcastle back on the attack.
Tonali into the area. Barnes goes for a shot outside the area. Comes for nothing. Spot on, Rob. If anything, Livramento, he was looking for a runner, wasn't he? He didn't want to run for himself, and again, it's ifs, buts and maybes. But if that's an Anthony Gordon running through, if that's a Harvey Barnes, Callum Wilson, they've got one thing on their mind, haven't they? Right, take a few touches, get past me defender, get in the box, go for a strike. Livramento, actually, he looked timid. He was always looking for a pass option, wasn't he? Coming forward. I'll bring Rob in one moment as Barnes does come forward. Just outside the penalty area. Can Newcastle create something? Arsenal have got all of their players back now. Ray's looking for the ball to Murphy. Well picked off by Trossard. And now the game picking up a little bit of tempo again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great chance for Livramento. I mean, he's probably not... he's often in space beyond the defence, but it's usually out wide. Not through the middle. It was a great ball to find him. Maybe the ball just wouldn't sit for him and he had to take an extra touch. I don't know. It just looked as though he slowed down. He wasn't trying to steer clear. Good recovery from Arsenal, though, because Livramento isn't slow. I think it was Partey who made the challenge. But like you say, if that's Gordon, Wilson, Murphy even, they're probably just driving forward and pulling the trigger. But there you go. They haven't had the ball in attacking position for ages at Newcastle, but all of a sudden they look dangerous. They're just looking better in the final third for me. I don't know whether it's simply because Gabriel's missing for Arsenal. They don't look as perhaps as rock solid as they were earlier in the season. I'm not saying Kivior's had a bad game, but yeah, I think Newcastle are looking a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, they look really good in the transition, don't they? In the counter-attacking department, whereas when they do slow it down, then Arsenal sit back. They do look a little bit void of ideas. 39 minutes played, still Arsenal 0, Newcastle 0, but we've had a good amount of chances. We really had a quick chance for Livramento a few moments ago. Ball forward by Raya, flicked on into the path of Saka. He flicks it over the defence and into Pope, who gets us going once again. Also, Livramento, he's playing as a wing back on the left-hand side, but he's floating centrally, going a bit forward than Gordon, trying to create some chaos for the Arsenal back line. We know how much that Ben White wants to get forward, and I think they're using the spacing behind that White vacates really well. Newcastle still on the ball on the right hand side with Murphy. For a long ball in behind for Wilson. Too much on it, and Wilson just doesn't really have the pace at his age now.